Hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88, and today for my next superhero movie review that I'll be talking about today is Thor. Director Kenneth Branagh, and stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, and Anthony Hopkins. I'm not really a big Thor fan. I don't really buy the Thor comic books, or I only know Thor in the Avengers and Thor the movie. The first Thor and Thor Dark World, which is still in theaters. But for this character Thor, he's my very least favorite Marvel character. But this first movie Thor was not really good. It's not as the most greatest action movie ever, or not the terrible most garbage Thor movie ever, but it's an okay decent movie just to watch it at home. And this was much more of a comedy spoof Marvel movie than less of an action movie. For Chris Hemsworth, we see him in Thor, Avengers, and the Dark World. But in the first one, his character, when he plays as Thor, the god of thunder, and he's all showing off and thinks he's a god and a king, his character was like really weak and so much of being a comedian and less being serious and action. But throughout his character, his process is like he takes it really seriously, and up to throughout this the Avengers and Dark World, he got very more serious and being less funny and comedian. The storyline is okay, but it was kind of unbalanced, where we see Thor in Asgard and we see him going down Earth, and he's all human and mortal and doesn't have his powers anymore. Just throughout this whole movie, only in the beginning and the end we see him with his powers and being the god of thunder. But with his father Odin, that he is still king, but somehow he really discusses of how being king and being a god and all, and trying to like rule of Asgard. But with his family, along with his warriors, and including his brother Loki, which we know he's the god of mischief, but what his plan is that he wants to be king, and he's really jealous of Thor because he became king and not Loki. But with the battle scenes and the epic scenes of ice demons that he faces, and it was a pretty epic battle, and with all the 3D and CGI graphics, they were really good, including with this big huge armor that was like so big and really unstoppable. But it was like at first, just at least know this armor character, I didn't really know. So like I said, I'm not really a big Thor fan. I don't really read the comics that often of him. With the love scene between Thor and Jane Foster, at first when they first met, when Thor came down to Earth, and Jane and her two other assistants, which was played by Kat Dennings, and I forgot the other character or the actor's name, but he was also in the first one and in the Avengers and Thor the Dark World. At first they thought he was crazy and he needed some help or something, like he was only human, and he wanted to prove them that he was telling the truth. But almost up to the end, like when Thor died, then the hammer just like came to him, and all of a sudden turns and he got his powers back, his suit back, and everything, even the cape, that he was really telling the truth, that he was the god of thunder. But that was really surprising of Natalie Portman's expression, her face. Oh my god, that was like, oh my god, he was really telling the truth. He's really Thor, the god of thunder, surprisingly. That was a big, epic, classic face expression. And also, almost up to the ending, the battle between Thor and Loki, it was really pretty epic, and the action scene going on, the CGI, the special effects, they were really good and really enhancement. And there was some foreshadowing and foreshadowings up in the end, and including with the red herring, good types of red herring, and when we realized that who was really behind all this and who planned this all along, like that seeked out to be Loki, that was his whole plan all along, like his father dying, Thor banished from Asgard, and being king or ruler, but apparently it failed. But we all know at the very ending, the sequel, which is Dark World, but Not gonna say anything. And those of you who didn't see it, but those of you did, and you knew about what happened at the end to Loki, you know. But I'm not gonna spoil it, so zip it in. But with the stereotypes and the dialogues and storyline, they were decent. They were decent, okay, but they were simply unbalanced and not really. Their stereotypes, they were too unbalanced, and there was too much comedy, so that was really disappointing to me. But none of that, the action scene really got me wide awake, so that was really good for me. So just to rate this film, I would have to give it a 71 out of 100. It's a pretty decent, okay movie, but all the comedy and the jokes were really disappointed, and the action scene was really good. But either way, when Dark World came, that's where the action was really enhanced and really epic. And I do have this movie on Blu-ray and DVD. So by next week, well, it'll be Christmas, so almost by next year or next month, on my superhero movie reviews. So the next time I'll be talking about is Kick-Ass. And this is P.M.R.Bonez88 signing off and saying is peace!